Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Blackpool FC show. Oh, we've got an even with Dilka.
Hello. We've got a new fan.
I'm
Neil
not on with the
Critchley,
Dilka. There we go. Good evening. Yes, and we've got a new fan in there with Freddie. What's the name of the cat?
Pain in the arse. No, Pebbles.
Okay. Right, we're going to be talking about the last two games really, Freddie, I suppose, not just not just Coventry last night. Obviously, you were in the North Stand. You had a better view of it than I did. We're going to be discussing whether it was a penalty. We're going to be discussing the tactics. We're going to be discussing the way we're playing, the way we're getting. I don't think we're competing very well from the start of the game. We're not in the game. We're not getting on top of teams. We're getting overrun, really, aren't we? Midfield, we can't get out of our own half. I don't think we're playing the right back four. I don't know about you, but we'll discuss all that with people. We'll have a look at if there's any comments in, see what people are saying. Obviously, the question tonight is, was it a handball? Giorgio is here. Hello, Giorgio. He's saying hi, Lee. And obviously, this is Freddie as well, if you want to say hello to Freddie. Callum Tromans, hi. Joseph Smith is here. Hello, Joseph. Steve Huntley is here. Good evening, Steve. And Stephen Woolley is here as well. Good evening, Stephen. Right, okay. So post in the comments, let us know what you think. Do you think it was a handball?
For me, I'm going to start. For me, Lee, I sat in the North Stand, like you said, and for me, it was a handball. And the way I got so annoyed because I saw the referee, and the referee looked over to the linesman. The linesman looked like he hadn't got a clue. Looked back at the referee, and they were both like, "What the hell do we do? What's going on?" And for a referee at that standard, a championship standard, come on. You're meant to be, you're meant to be able to control the game at least. Have a bloody clue what's going on. I mean, last season I thought League One referees are bad, and when we got promoted, I thought, oh, brilliant, we're going to have better referees. But if anything, it's the bloody other way around. Should have been a penalty against Cardiff. Yesterday was a handball.
Yeah. Although we're already getting comments in, let's just go through this. See, this is you say the referee should be doing his job, but we can't even agree with each other. This is why Maradona got away with a hand of God goal, because nobody could ever agree that it was or it wasn't. You got all these people saying other things that they were. Joseph Smith says he says it was a definite, clear, and obvious handball. And if you see the picture in my thumbnail, it's the only picture that really shows it, where the ball's actually got his hand up and you can see the ball, kind of coming through. I think it hit his hand. A few people have said it kind of hit his arm and bounced into his face, and then because it did come off his face. I agree with that. Lee BFC, however, says it's not a handball, but did look like it at first. I was in the North Stand Block A, so he's now changed his mind and he thinks it's not a handball. So are we going with that?
Another thing Lee's Critch touched upon in his post-match interview, it shouldn't even be a question whether it's a handball or not. We got 1 minute of additional play in the second half. That happened in the second minute. So
that is
why?
The other thing as well, isn't it?
It was offside, and it was in the second minute of additional time. So it shouldn't even really been, shouldn't even be a question.
Some are saying it was, it was offside, as you're just saying there, it was offside. And I'm pretty sure as well, it was well over a minute play, because we had an attack, didn't we, ages before, and then they went down, and it just seemed to play forever until somebody scored. So that was annoying. Callum Troman says the goal shouldn't have counted. It was definitely handball. There we go. See, it's a lot of people saying it was handball. Some are saying it's not. Stephen Huntley said it was a handball all night long.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I must admit, I've seen the pictures of it, and I think it was as well. I think it was definitely handball. If anything, I mean, if that was a defender and he's got his hand up there like that, it would be deemed as like your hand's in the false position anyway. You shouldn't have your hand shouldn't be up there, should it? Like, it just shouldn't be. Why was his hand right up there like that?
I thought he needed a wee. I thought he needed to go to the toilet. I'm sure the rules say that if the ball hits your hand and it provides you an advantage within a goal, then it's handball. It's not a goal.
Yeah,
I'm sure the rules say that.
I mean, a defender with his arm up like that, it would be pulled back, wouldn't it? You know, if there's a bit of doubt about.
Yeah.
Maybe we needed VAR on this thing. Ryan Dunbar says, everyone evening for me. It definitely was a handball. Glad you like the flag. Oh, you mentioned the flag. Yeah, look at this. This is from Ryan.
I was just touching upon your setup play in the back. I love those screens. They're very, very colourful.
This was a birthday present from Ryan. See that?
Nice.
We're going away. Put that up somewhere.
I don't think your name's big enough. I don't think your name's big enough on that flag, mate.
no, but if you can put it up on some, the way end and away game, but I just fear if I do that I'll forget it. Do you know what I mean? I'll go on and say, oh my God, we left the flag. Because honestly, I've left so many things like coffee flasks over the years, and I've put them under my seat, and then I've just gone. Programs. I used to do that all the time. I don't know about you, but you have a program, you just put it under your seat. You put it under your seat, and then you just forget it. You just set off.
We went to Wembley. Last one. We beat Lincoln 2-1. I bought myself a program at a tenner.
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes later, I was like, where is it? So I must have put it down and lost it.
Oh, no. I've actually done that before, where I've been to Asda and I've bought something and I put £20 in and forgot the tenner. It gives you the £10 change.
Yeah.
I've taken the change and left the tenner, and I ran back in. I still have nightmares about that £10 now. So it's still.
If you ever see you at Asda, mate, I'll make sure that I'm waiting behind you.
Damon Orm says, apart from the handball, sounded to me as though we were outplayed. Worrying. We were, Damon, definitely outplayed in the first half. We did have a couple of chances. We had a couple of chances to score, but on the balance of play, giving Coventry credit where it's due, they were just all over us, really, weren't they? We were struggling to get out of our own half. They must have had, I don't know how many corners they had. They must have had something like 10 corners. It just seemed like, I think at one time they had 4 in a row, didn't they? We just couldn't get rid of it. It was like 4 corners game in a row, and they were just, they were like first to every loose ball. They got to the loose balls quick. They were picking up in midfield. Defense was clearing it out, edging it out. It was going straight to a Coventry player, and it was like the Alamo in the first half. But in the second half, it was a different game, and Blackpool were a lot more determined. We were winning. We were getting to that second ball. We were closing them down. We were doing all the things that you want to see from a team. And I don't think that we can play in this championship and just dawdle around and pass back and size. You've got to be really aggressive and really in and really try and take the game by the scruff of the neck, and we're not doing, for me. I don't know what you think, Freddie, but that's what I thought about the game last night.
I agree with you. My first thoughts, mate, we need a bloody right back. We need a right back, and I can't believe the club have let it go on for so long. I mean, there's been talks that we're trying to sign Gabriel. That's one player. To be a competitive team, you need 2 players per position. So why haven't we gone for anybody else? We went for Ethan Laird at like the 12th hour when it was more or less done. But it's just, for me, my perspective, teams attacking us down, aiming and targeting that position on the pitch because they know that we're weak around there. I mean, Connolly's a good player. Yeah. But he's more of a centre-back. And what I've noticed myself is he tends to go more central. He's not stuck on the right because he tends
to come inside all the time.
He's not that minded. Do you know what I mean? So he's moving over to the centre, which is leaving gaps around that area of the pitch, and that's where teams are aiming and exploiting us. I mean, there was a game.
Well, this is where the coaching should come in. This is where the coaching should come in. I mean, we all talk about Critch as being like a master coach with the top level FIFA badges. Well, if he's got he hasn't got a right back at the moment, and he's got this, Callum Connolly's there and he's having to fill in, then he should be being coached to make sure that he knows exactly where he should be as a right back, because we slot players in all the time. And we did it last season. In whatever position we had, all the players knew the role, if they moved into midfield or, left of midfield, centre midfield, right midfield, whatever, they could just come in and you wouldn't even, it was almost seamless. But we shouldn't have this lad, if he is playing right back, he should know what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? Because he is a good player.
There's
nothing bad about him. So if he's coming inside, then it wants coaching out of him now, because at the moment we ain't got a right back, so he's got to be the right back, and he's got to know how to play the game as a right back.
Thing is,
I don't think
the lad's 22 years old, so he probably started playing at centre back 11 years of age, so he's played in that position for 11 years. So
it's hard to get.
Critchley could have taught him, and could be teaching him how to play that, but in his mind, because he's played in that position for so long, he's going to do it automatic, isn't he?
I know.
If you do something for that long, it becomes second nature.
It does. Just go back to the comments very quickly. Lee BFC says, true, that linesman was a knob. They missed so many offsides. It was awful.
I shouted it, Lino, you see the thing in your hand? It's a flag. Raise it.
Yeah, now Chris Holmes is saying that it was offside. Now, I was speaking to Sebi after the game, and he was going mental. There was one time, I don't know if you remember in the first half, where the guy on the right wing did an overhead kick back. And he said he had like 3 or 4 players offside. He had all the time in the world to do that like overhead kick back in. And he couldn't believe that wasn't offside. Did you see that? Do you remember that?
No, I didn't see that, buddy. No, I didn't see that.
Did you not see when he did the overhead kick back in?
No.
Callum Mann says it touches both his arm and his head, which is still handball. Now, a few people have a few Coventry fans, I'm getting it all from Coventry fans, are all saying no, it was never. And somebody's actually argued that there's no way.
It's biased, though, isn't it? It's biased. It's in a biased opinion.
They're saying that it can't bounce off your arm into your face coming in that way. It would bounce like forward. It's not physically possible for it to come in and then bounce on. But lots of people have said it like it shot off his arm into his face and then just straight into the goal. David Scholl says, without a doubt, handball. He steered the ball with his arm. Yeah, but it does hit his head as well, though. It definitely does. You can see it on that other video.
I think it ruined the game just before half time as well. Got scoring like that. It's just.
I know. It was unbelievable. I just couldn't believe it. And we'd survived it, hadn't we? And if we hadn't have gone 1-0 down, I think we were in with a chance really to get. Well, I think we'd have got a point because they didn't really. Well, they had that one shot, didn't they, where Maxi pushed it around the post.
There is something I'd like to talk about. Now, when you asked me at Bristol about Richard Keogh, I said that I thought he was a good player, and I thought that his experience.
You're raving about him.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was like Keogh. But I thought that his experience would help us. But yesterday game, mate, he was a liability. Like I saw him. He got hold of the ball. He ran out. And then he lost
it, and then he got fouled, didn't he? Yeah, I mean that
within a second,
and then he got booked.
Coventry were on the attack.
Yeah, they were. It was crazy.
I think he should be played. I think he should be played, but against the teams that have slower strikers.
He's not the quickest. I mean, he's old in football, like years, isn't he? I don't know what is he 31 or 32?
35. So
35, you see. I mean, his legs will be not as quick as some as he's, but I always say you don't, as a centre half, you don't always have to be that rapid as a centre half, because if your positioning play, is really good. But I know what you mean. That ball when he brought it out of defence, because he does like to do that, doesn't he? He does like to take the ball forward and run with it. He does have that in him to take that ball forward, but he shoved it too far, didn't he? And then he actually had to go and chase his own ball and then foul the guy and got himself a yellow card. It was honestly
that lad from Coventry, mate. He ripped him a new one yesterday.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's the same lad, but he got megged and he just got torn apart.
Yeah,
torn apart.
So do you agree with me, and do the people, do you guys watching it agree with me that I think Ekpiteta should be starting as a centre half? I think he's the biggest centre half we've got. I think if we had Ekpiteta and Keogh, we'd have two. Keogh's quite a big centre half, and James Husband is not tall compared to them. And I think Hubby's better as a left back. I think his natural position is left back.
Yeah,
I think he's been a liability at times as a centre half. We've seen him get sent off a few times in the centre half position, and I worry about him there. I mean, we've seen him got sent off as a left back as well, but I just think he's. And I don't think Garbutt's playing. I like Garbutt. I really like Garbutt, so I don't like to say that I don't think he's playing well, but he's not at the moment, is he? He's not doing.
No, he's not playing well now. I think with Garbutt, he's a very good player, but he needs to get back more and tackle. And there was a couple of times yesterday where I was screaming for just put a ball into the box, put a drill ball into the box, and hopefully Shane or Yates would have gotten the end of it. But I think yesterday he had a bit of a poor game, in my honesty.
Who had a poor game?
Luke Garbutt yesterday.
Yeah, he did. He's just his corners and his free kicks and everything. He's just not the player that he was. Whether he's just not fit, I don't know. Ryan Dunbar says,
he needs to get his hair long and his headband back.
Yeah, he needs his headband back on, doesn't he? I thought by the goal, I thought we were poor, and Keogh is not championship standard anymore. Dabo, the player, was bossing that side all night. Right, yeah. Okay. Stephen Woolley says this is he lives in Coventry. And I have to say that the Coventry fans are saying it was not a handball. It was a perfect goal. It's just sour grapes with Blackpool fans. I have no support down here. Well, you're not going to have, are you?
I mean, they're saying that, but if it was the other way around and that goal would come from Blackpool against you, or if you are a Coventry fan, then I'm pretty sure that you'd be saying the same thing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, nobody's disputing, and I'll say I've said it on the video. Coventry were the better side on the night. They were the better side.
First half, they was, yeah. First half.
Well, just like, if you take the whole 90 minutes, it was about even Stevens in the second half, and we got battered in the first half. So on the whole 90 minutes, they were the better side. But we all know football. We've all watched football for a very long time. And being the best side doesn't always guarantee you a win, does it?
No.
But when you get a referee that plays, somebody there, Callum Mansey, an linesman, the guy's offside, it's... Whether it was a handball or not, it was also 2 minutes of a 1 minute added on an extra time. So the goal should just never have happened. So the fact they've had a gift goal winning the game, it still just annoys me. I mean, I don't care if they were the better side at the end of the day. Yes, better side. I get that. But the better side, I've watched Blackpool loads of times be the better side and not win. It's just because you're the better side doesn't mean, we could have got that goal. We could have got that goal. It could have gone the other way around. We could have had an handball goal, played 2 minutes. It could have been us scoring, and they'd be going mental about it, wouldn't they? And they'd also be saying that we weren't the best side. And so they have got that. That's what I'm saying. They can say they were the better side on the night, and they probably deserve the win.
What's your supposed to go to Bournemouth on Saturday, get battered, but then score and win?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that can happen. We've seen it loads of times, haven't we? And, how many teams have we had down at Bloomfield Road and we've actually battered them senseless and they go and bloody score a bloody late winner or something? It just, it happens sometimes. But
even an equaliser at Wimbledon last season in League One.
Lee BFC is not sure it was offside. He's not sure it was offside, but it was definitely after a minute. There's no doubt about that. I wish we had an actual clock on it to say when it was. David Scholes says, though, it is minimum time, not a maximum time the referee gives, so he's entitled to add a minute extra on if he wants to. I mean, they used to do it for Fergie, didn't they, all the time?
Yeah.
Giorgio says, where were you sat in the North Stand? I might have sat next to you. I think that would be to you, Freddie.
Me? I was at the top of C block. Top of C in the double A row.
Where is Jane tonight? She is writing her blog of today. So she's going through all the trauma now. I've done the video, but she's got to do her blog. Joseph Smith says VAR should definitely be in a league like the Championship. Well, you say that, but so many people moan about this VAR, don't they? It's a very controversial thing. I don't know whether we want it or we don't want it, really. It splits opinion, doesn't it? It's not always right.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Callum Mann says, Lee, are you going to be at Bournemouth on Saturday? Yes, I am. I'm starting to think we've taken on a big thing here. I said to Jane, Jesus, if we have to go through all these defeats this season, it's going to be a long season. It's going to every match.
Are you going the night before? You going to Bournemouth the night before, like you did with Bristol?
Yeah, we are. We're setting off on Friday. Yeah, so going the night before, but it's just constant losing really takes it out of you. So hopefully Blackpool will start to win, because there's nothing worse than just going to match after match after match and losing. It's really hard to keep going. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard enough doing all the games anyway. So every single one away and home. It's a big ask, but if we're not playing well, it's even worse.
Yeah.
Steve Huntley says, let's just hope it's a repeat of the start of last season. Yeah, let's hope it is. Ryan Dunbar says Lavery should have bagged his chance. In the first half, and Yates should have squared his rather than be selfish and shoot. Well, yeah, it was a ball back from Yates. I thought it was. I didn't.
He's just desperate to score, though, wasn't he, Yates?
He is desperate.
He wants that first one. But it just we spoke about now. We created 4 or 5 chances yesterday. In this division, we need to be taking at least one of those chances.
I know.
You know, it's we need to be taking them.
But is 4 or 5 chances enough? You know, I remember, you know, very fondly, you know, when Blackpool were back in the Championship with Holloway, especially after the Premier League, you know, that season. And we were just creating like 13, 14 chances in the first half. You know what I mean? It was just so like swashbuckling football. It was exciting. And we're just not getting on top of teams at home. You know, they are getting on top of us, and you don't want that, do you? You don't want to be pegged back in your own half at home. You've got to be more, you know, if we're going to stay up with this division, you know, winning your home games is so important. We've already lost 2 on a bounce to 2 teams that really, you know, before them, I didn't think, I'm not saying they were like easy winnable games, but I thought Cardiff and Coventry, it's better than starting off with Fulham and blooming Swansea, or, you know, isn't it really? Would you not think? I kind of looked at them and I thought, you know, Coventry, surely, you know, they only came up the year before us.
Yeah.
You know, they've been down.
There's no really easy games in this division, though, is there? There's
nothing easy. It could be a long. Mr. Moley says it could. Hi, Mr. Moley. He says, I think it could be a long, tough season. We're letting teams have too many shots at the moment. We are, and Maxwell's pulling off bloody worldies every week. You know, you can't go on.
Yeah. One thing I said to you earlier on, Lee, when we had that telephone conversation, is I think that Blackpool are playing and they're looking like they've been zapped for the confidence. We don't look like a confident team. And yesterday, I mean, how many balls went astray? How many simple passes? I mean, come on, if you're going to win football games, you need to get the basics of the football games right. And if we can't string 2 or 3 passes together, then no, what bloody chance have we got? Well, sorry to be so negative, but I'm just
I can't understand why we're so lacking in confidence, because we got, you know, I came out of Bristol City like walking on edge. You know what I mean? It was such a wonderful last second goal. Then we played Middlesbrough, didn't we? You know, we battered them off the park, and everything looked fantastic. And now all the confidence has suddenly gone. I don't get it, to be honest. You know, I know it happens in tennis where, you know, you can have Andy Murray winning a blooming set, and then all of a sudden his head goes and all the rest of it. He gets a bad call.
That's just Andy Murray.
It just, well, any tennis player, but you think with a football team, they'd be more together than that to be not. But they don't look right. Mark Porter says, hi Mark, he says, I went to the game and I have to be honest, Coventry could have been out of sight in the first half. Totally agree with you. I think Coventry won it on points over the 90. They open up our defence time and time again, no complaints. Okay, so a lot of people, I get that, I must admit, but still, you know, the question is, was it handball? And I don't think we're ever going to get a definitive answer on it, to be honest, because even Blackpool.
Can we talk about the starting 11 for yesterday?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we'll talk about that. You can start with it. Do you want to talk about the formation?
Yeah, I mean, on paper, it looks a good team.
I was really happy. He did what I wanted him to do. Apart from Ekpiteta, I was a bit disappointed when Jane read out the defence. I was like, oh, for God's sake, he's going with the same defence again, and I don't think that's our best defence. I'm sorry, but I just don't think it's our best defence.
Yeah, and, no, I agree.
And I think it needed changing. I think it was glaringly obvious in the Coventry game that it wasn't looking good. It wasn't really looking good at Bristol, was it? Really? You know,
no,
they were getting lots of chances. Bristol, weren't they? Especially down again that left-hand side. You know, cross balls coming over and the man free on the far post quite a lot of times, because I was moaning about it at half time. So I don't think that's our best defence. I think we should have Ekpiteta in. I don't know what he's done wrong. I know he got injured, but he was and also Ekpiteta comes up and scores goals, doesn't he? You know what I mean?
He gets the odd goal. Something you said earlier on is we don't have the height in the team apart from Medina and Ekpiteta. We're quite a small team, aren't we, in terms of height and the players?
Yes. Yeah, we are. We're small. Lee BFC is loving the fish tank. Where's the fish? Have you got a fish tank in there, Freddie? Or is he talking about?
Yeah, it's kind of like.
Oh yeah, there's the fish tank. Yeah,
it's got full of tropical fish.
All right, lovely.
So, yesterday, just regards to the lineup. Obviously, Maxwell is his first choice. You know, there's no even question about that. But looking at the defence, Husband playing at centre back with Keogh, does it work? It didn't, it would have done in League One. Don't think Husband's a centre back. I don't think he's good enough for the Championship. One thing I did like, when we played Middlesbrough and we had a back four of, I brought it down actually. We've got Connolly, Casey, Ekpiteta, and Husband at left back. And okay, we were playing a second string team, but I felt that worked a lot better. And we won 3-0. We came away with a clean sheet. We looked strong at the back. Why can't we play that in the league?
Oh, it's just been a mystery, hasn't it, since that?
Yeah.
It's been a real mystery since that Middlesbrough game. I mean, I know some people saying like we were only playing kids, but we were so good that night. I don't think I've ever seen Blackpool play quite so well, and we never really give Middlesbrough an inch. We were just all over them, picking up loose balls. James says it looks like these players are playing to get in the first team. They're giving everything, and I didn't think Blackpool looked in that first half like we were giving everything, and they looked like they'd had a rocket up their arse at half time.
Yes, somebody
give and they came out. But why are we not coming out? Why are we not coming out like that from the minute you kick off and getting on top and getting in people's faces? Because we're going to have to. Because we're not Real Madrid, are we? We're not. We haven't got the best players. I mean, they were singing that song last night. They were singing that, he's Brazilian. He only cost $1 million. I mean, only cost $1 million. I mean, we in our dreams, £1 million, and we haven't signed anybody like $1 million bloody quid. We couldn't sing that song. That's not a one we can add to our armory, is it?
Yeah, with Gary Medina, we signed him on a free.
Yeah, it's everything's on a free, isn't it? So regarding free, Mark Stiles is saying, did we pay anything for Reece James? No, we didn't pay anything for him. He was out of contract. He joined us on a free. Yeah, so we can't get any money back on him.
We're not paying money for Oliver Casey from Leeds.
I think we did. Yeah, we did pay some money for him. I don't
know how much we paid.
There was an undisclosed fee, wasn't it? Undisclosed fee, so God knows. Ryan Dunbar.
Leeds fans I spoke to, they talk very highly of him. Said he's a really good young player. And the only reason that they didn't get in the Leeds team is because obviously they're Premier League and they've got Premier League standard players.
Sure, yeah, they're signing these players, foreigners and all that, the rest of it. It's hard to get in it as a young kid. They'll be keeping him out. Ryan Dunbar says, Reece James did not get pass marks from me at all. And okay, it was a handball, but if Maxi stays where he is and not goes for it, it might not have gone in.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I completely agree with that. Reece James, to me, is not a midfield player. If you looked at the reviews from Doncaster fans, they said that down at the left back and left wing, he was really, really, really good. Brought a lot to the team, but then he played once or twice in a defensive midfield position like he's at the minute. But that was only makeshift. That's because obviously it was the last option. But for some reason, we seem to be playing in there game after game after game.
I don't know. Mark Stiles agrees with me anyway. There you go. We're saying also Garbutt said 2 poor games now. Perhaps needs drop in, push Husband out there and play Ekpiteta. That's what I would do, definitely. And that's what I was hoping I would do. Liam Knight says we are biased. Well, it just looks like a.
We're talking about our team. Coventry talk about their team. It's going to be biased either way. If you have a neutral, obviously that won't be biased, will it?
Yeah, we are Blackpool fans, and we are allowed to have a little bit of a moan. Mr. Molly says, to lighten the mood, I decided to get a tattoo today. He was told to get it somewhere that didn't matter, so I went to Rotherham.
Hey,
we like it. Yes, I know. Mr. Molly says, he's read the papers. We lost 1-0. Bad decisions happen all the time. Let's move on. Well, the thing is, it's a football channel, and I don't want to move on from it because we need to talk about it. If we don't talk about it, we might as well pack in, haven't we? We got to talk about things like this. It's what makes
what
makes
provide
a show.
And I can't even say the word. Provide an analysis and a review of what happened.
Exactly. Red Room is saying we're up against better opposition. We certainly bloody are. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We have gone up a level, and we've been taught very quickly that this is not going to be, all those fans, myself included, we're talking about double promotions and getting in the playoffs. It's not looking like it's going to be that kind of season this season. I think it's going to be hanging if we can, I think.
What I would have liked to have seen this season is, it's not happened, but when Sadler first came in, he said, my target is to get to the Championship. Okay, and it obviously took us, 2 seasons to get to the Championship. I would have loved, as a fan, for Sam Sadler to come out and say, okay, now we've achieved this goal. What we're going to be aiming and focusing on the next year or two is this. I mean, I would have appreciated and respect that as a fan, and I'm pretty sure that others would have liked that as well.
Well, you're going to be rattling my cage here, Freddie, with all this, because I don't think there's any, and Jane and I are kind of on the same sheet with this, that there's very little fan engagement from the club, very little. It's just there just isn't any at all. They are, let's be honest, they're doing a great job, or they were doing a great job. They've got us out of League One, they've got us into the Championship. They're improving the stadium in stages, aren't they? And it's looking better, and they've done things outside and everything else. But actually, like, engaging with the fans, it's as if they hate us. If I'm being honest, you don't feel like the fans are wanted, or it's just. It's very poor, and I talk to lots of people who have dealings, with the club, and it's, even with the tickets for Bournemouth, right? There's tickets for Bournemouth, and they've only just come on sale on Monday. And we're going away on Saturday, and people have booked hotels, and they've got to book trains and whatever to get there and arrange things. And apparently, it's been a problem at the Bournemouth end. But why has nobody come out and said this? We're having a problem. We know you want your tickets, but we've not gotten through yet from Bournemouth. No, there's nobody. There's no fan engagement. They're doing all these things like the Tangerine TV, pay for this and pay for that. You'll get the better of this and you'll get the better of that. But how about just remembering that we're important and not like pissing us all off all the time?
Would you say
prices for tickets?
With you saying that, Lee, my master's thesis paper, my master's degree was based upon marketing and development, business development. And my thesis paper was actually focused on how football clubs can utilize social media to engage with the fans.
Yes.
I did a 15,000 word thesis paper on it, so I think I'm going to take it to the club tomorrow and have a read of that.
Yeah, have a read of this and see what you're supposed to do to like.
I mean, it's meant to give social media like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all that is meant to give the fans a two-way communication platform. And being able to speak in the club.
Couldn't agree more.
Because of that, the fans then have a voice to be able to communicate. It'd just be nice for the club to just make, a little bit of an effort. You don't have to do it every single day, just a little bit of an effort to the fans to show us that, they respect us and, they appreciate us being there. But, I'm very grateful for everything they've done.
But all the communication from the club on any social media is look how good we are, look how wonderful we are, look how fantastic we are. Not like, you know what I mean? It's just not, you don't feel that thing with the club, do you? It's like, and fans will start doing their own, they'll start doing their own thing. We've got the Armfield Club now. There's, we saw it, at Bristol City. It was amazing at Bristol City for fans before the game, and they have a lot to learn. They did all that to,
definitely.
To engage with fans and get them in early and provide a band for them. And, we've got a band in the art, they had a band on in the Armfield Club last night,
Johnny's daughters, I saw the
she sang really well. She sang really well. Yeah, she sang brilliantly, but, they're doing more there to engage with fans. And if you don't, and the problem is, if the football's not good, we keep losing, they'll lose fans. Because if they're not engaging with them in any other way than just thinking the football, if you're not going to engage with the fans, then you've got to win to keep people going. You know what I mean? Because people will just not keep going to watch you lose.
I understand why they didn't do it. I understand why they didn't do it in COVID, because obviously we wasn't going to games. We didn't have the the chance to be able to go. But now that everything in football teams has gone back to how it was, make a bit of an effort. Do you know what I mean?
Mark Stiles says Keogh is good as a squad player, but agree, not against pace. He has the turning circle of a challenger too, apparently. So that's I imagine that's a very slow turning circle. Jordan Hayes. Hi, Jordan. He says we have a centre back at right back, a left back at centre back, a left wing back at centre mid. Keogh can get in the bin. I don't get what Reece James is. CJ isn't up to it. All facts. Well, CJ. I was talking to Freddie about this before. You know, he had that bad injury last year with his hamstring. Then he did his toe in, and we've been doing these interviews with like former players, and when they start telling us about the things that were going on behind the scenes with injuries, and they were going for operations, and they were having injections here and injections there to keep them playing, you don't quite know what's the problem with CJ, whether he is still struggling with that injury, because he doesn't look fast, does he? The one thing CJ
Hamilton
look
as fast as he did.
No, he doesn't. And he wasn't getting round his man. Last season he could give him a yard start and get past him, because I don't think he's the greatest dribbler in the world, but his pace would normally get him round players, but it's not getting him round. He's not frightening, is he? Because he's just not got that pace somehow that he had, and I don't know whether that's because he is just not quite fully fit. Could be. David Scholes says, I wish we would vary the ball. I wish we would vary the ball distribution by Maxwell rolling it out to a defender every single time it's read by attackers and pressing our defenders who give away the ball in dangerous positions. Well, I don't like this. I don't like this tactic. I don't know about you, but when they just pass to a defender that's more or less in the penalty area.
The bill from the back. I think we're very inexperienced in it.
It's frightening, man. You've got to be classed because they are just closing you down, aren't they, straight away? And we're getting really flappy as we're passing it back to Maxi. And, before, I think we actually lost it, didn't we, on one of those occasions where we did that? We actually, they did actually take it off us. And then if they take that ball off you when you're just outside your own penalty area, you're in big trouble, aren't you? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's big trouble. It's just basically a goal to go. So, yeah, I agree with David. Did you agree with him, Freddie, on that one?
Yeah, I actually saw yesterday, there's a couple of times where, I can't remember who it was, it was Keogh passed back to Maxwell, but then there was a Coventry player that instantly put Maxwell under pressure. And obviously, if Maxwell wasn't as good as he was, maybe he could have flapped and give the ball away. But for me, it doesn't work. It's not working at the moment. And to be honest, it's a little bit boring too, isn't it? You're like, come on, get him up front. And all the fans yesterday,
I just don't like it, Freddie. I don't even like it when other teams do it. I'm thinking, I've watched it a few times, and I follow last season, and teams are doing that. I'm thinking, what are you doing? Why are you taking a goal kick into your own penalty area and putting yourself on? When Blackpool were pushing on, I'm thinking the bloody idiots. So I don't like it.
And when you 1-0 down as well, and it's like the 85th minute, and they're playing it around at the back. Get it up to the bloody front. Get it in the box. Get a goal. Come on, stop messing about.
Absolutely, just go for it. You just got to throw the kitchen sink at it, haven't you? Yeah. Michael Hayes says Keogh is no good. Husband needs to practice forward passing. Too many players went into hiding. We've got a lot to learn, and the referee was a cheat. Strong words on this channel. Stephen Woolley says we need Gretterson back as quick as possible.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd love Gretterson back.
Gretterson and Ekpateta or
Casey.
I'd like to see Casey be given a chance in the league.
We're missing Ballard, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Eugene McGeevy says, I think Blackpool need to strengthen the squad now in this summer transfer window to make the team much better. We've got to do something, haven't we? We've got to do something. Surely the powers that can see that we've not done enough in this transfer window.
Yeah. I mean, the players that are out at the minute, you've got the likes of Kevin Stewart, Dimitri Mitchell, Gary McDean. How much of an impact do you think that they can provide and give when they come back?
Well, I think Kevin Stewart's a great player, but the trouble is he's all of a sudden like a sick note, isn't he? He just plays 20 minutes and he's off, which you can't rely on him, can you? Because what's the problem there? I mean, he came on Southport. He was only on for 10 minutes. They took him off. We played with 10 men down at Southport. He came on again, didn't he? Another game, they had to take him off. I can't remember which one it was, but he didn't last 5 minutes. So he's got a problem. So I don't think you can even think about him. And I think we need him. I think he's a really good midfielder.
Yeah.
I thought Kenny Dougal looked better in the second half than he did in the Cardiff game. I thought he looked better.
I wasn't at the Cardiff game, so I couldn't say.
I like Grant Ward. Oh, you weren't there. Oh God, you'd be really good job.
So I saw the highlights. I was like, oh.
Lee BFC says, hate VAR. It slows the game and takes away that buzz of a goal while waiting 3 months for the idiots to have a look at the screen. I know that is a thing I don't fancy about it either. However, Callum says, voice of reason that we've got plenty of time to turn things around. We were 1 win in the first 7 last year. Yes, we were, but we were sort of. There was something about last year, pre-season we looked a force, didn't we? And we're all thinking we're going to walk this league. We're just too good for it. We've put 3 past Everton in 10 minutes and 2 away at Anfield, but we haven't had that. I've been to all the pre-season games and we've struggled. We struggled against Southport. We struggled against bloody Morecambe. It was we got an equaliser, but you were glad to get a point at Morecambe. We got battered.
We do struggle at Morecambe, though, don't we? Because Morecambe is a team that we tend to struggle at.
Probably, but we shouldn't be doing, should we? We shouldn't be doing. Then you've got Man City. We played. We got battered, didn't we? Bloody Burnley battered us, really. And I don't think we've had we didn't go into the season looking like the team that we went into the season in the League One. I was very disappointed with the start to the season. And I just thought they're going to turn it around. They're going to turn it around because they're a good team. But so far, I haven't. Only against Middlesbrough have I seen this good team. Yeah. So I don't know if it's a parallel with.
I think we did well. I hope it is. I hope it is. Against we did second half away at Bristol.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll tell you what a sensation Lavery and Bowler are. I think Bowler is fantastic.
Yeah, let's talk some positives. We've moaned enough, haven't we? But yeah, these two.
What a player Bowler is.
Just before we get the joy, just quickly, we'll just go through these and we'll talk some joy. Callum Mann, CJ needed to put his chance away. He did. He was afraid someone had to be putting that kind of chance. I mean, he was. I wish it had fallen to Lavery because I just can't believe he ballooned it over the bar. Bradley Jones is here. Hi, guys. Gutted that you lost last night. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Eugene McGee says Blackpool need an out-and-out striker that can score 20 goals in the Championship now. Well, yeah, how'd you find one of them for 50 pence? Because we ain't got millions to buy them for. Those kind of players cost millions and we ain't got it. Michael Hayes is off the team, went over to it last night. Yeah, he's off the pace and seems very weak. Yeah, he's not. His confidence is not there yet, but we'd all know it can turn around.
Now I put a Twitter up a few days ago. And I actually said that I think CJ and Yates should both be dropped because they haven't looked on it. Jerry Yates hasn't scored all pre-season. He's not scored in the first couple of games. CJ.
So who was you playing? CJ's.
Hey,
I was happy last night. I was happy when I saw the team sheet and I saw that he put Bowler and Lavery in. I was honestly, I was like, oh yeah, that's what we want. Cause
what I was getting at with them two is I think they need to earn their place again.
Yeah. So who would you start with then?
Bowler for CJ and maybe just put Lavery up front on his own. No,
just on his own.
I don't rate him. I'll be honest. I might get a bit of stick for it. I don't rate him. Hopefully he can get better. Sims obviously got a couple of goals when he first came, went off the boiler for a little bit, and then got better under Critchley. Fingers crossed it happens again. But just right now, I don't rate him. So I maybe put 5 in midfield, pat the midfield out.
What about playing 5 at the back, Freddie, and just going a little bit more, more defensive minded?
Our defence at the moment.
A 5. Yeah, because we are, we are leaking goals, aren't we? So do we need to shore it up and maybe?
I think maybe play along the lines
back at Bournemouth. Do we need to? Perhaps.
I don't know. For me, maybe I don't know what the viewers think, but maybe put an extra man in midfield and have a 5 and pat the midfield out. Or maybe play like a 4-5-1.
4-5-1. That could maybe. I mean, you can always with those 5s, you can always have the the wing backs that push back. And forward. So just
pat the midfield out, and it's sometimes it's a midfield battle, isn't it? If you're winning your balls in midfield and your second balls in midfield, then you can get forward, and then the likes of Lavery. Lavery is a very, very good player, and I think he'll score more than he misses.
We are getting overrun in the midfield, Freddie. I do feel that at the moment. Stephen Wallace says, I think Bowler will be a better player than CJ, so they should carry on playing him. CJ seems to be going downhill. I don't know if he's downhill or whether he's just not back. I think he's been through so many injuries. I don't think he's quite, I've already said his pace is not there as it was. And to be honest with you, he hasn't got the dribbling skills of Bowler, so he needs that pace. And if he hasn't got that pace, he's not really. Hollow TV says we paid around 750k for Casey, so if we paid 750,000 for him, why are we not bloody playing
him?
Nick Muller is here. Hi, Nick. Isn't it? It's fan.
I'm excited about Mitchell coming back. I am. Bowler down one side, Mitchell down the other. They're both very direct and like to get in the box. So I'm excited about obviously when they're both playing.
They are excited on the ball. Mr. Mully says he's not sure we should be looking at Coventry City for financial advice. Probably not. Joe McGee says up the Coventry. He's a Coventry fan that's in the channel
Get off.
now. No, I mean, I've got to say, I thought if there are any Coventry fans watching, that your fans last night, you weren't quite as good as Tranmere, because Tranmere were unbelievable. They were like just unbelievable. The tequila song and the drummers that they had like proper like military drummers, not just like somebody banging a drum. They had proper like, well, it was like military drumming. It was just phenomenal. I've never ever heard anything like it. But I've got to say, Coventry last night were the best since them. I know it's only, I was kind of thinking about this because I thought, they're the best since Tranmere. And I'm thinking about it, it's only like 3 teams have been since Tranmere, isn't it? Because that was the last game before COVID. And then we've only actually played like 3 games at home. So to be the best
to the Bluey, I was sick of listening to that £1 million song. They went on for about 25 minutes.
It did go on. They did kind of milk it a bit, but they never shut up, did they? Rob Purdon is here. Oh gosh, let's have a look what he says. Can't believe the negativity. It's not the start we're hoping for, but we've been in dire situations before and pulled ourselves out. Coventry played some nice football, but at times so did we. Well, we did. I do agree. We did play some nice football at times. The trouble was it just wasn't enough times for me. Our defence looks makeshift and Keogh's lack of pace is worrying, but we carved out opportunities on other days. They'll go in, and the goal they scored wouldn't have counted. Lots to be positive about. I thought, yeah.
We'll get better. We'll get better.
We're not completely down on them, but we're just feeling a little bit.
We'll get better.
Hollow TV says we're after a young Leeds. We don't want a left back though, do we? We don't need a left back. Do we need a left back?
No, we need a right back.
It's a right back we need, yeah. John McGee says it was not a handball, never.
He's got it wrong. We're after a right back from Leeds who has also been linked with Sunderland too. I was reading about it just before.
We're knackered then, are we? If anybody else Joe McGee says it hit his head. Well, we got photograph from 4,000 people telling you that it didn't just hit his head, it hit his hand before. But yes, Joe, we totally agree with you. We're not going to disagree with you. You should have been 4 up. Well, maybe not 4, but you should have been up. Definitely, you had enough chances, but you didn't put them away. It's all right saying we should have been, but you weren't 4 up, were you? So just the fact that you should have been doesn't mean anything. Of course, we're not going to do back to back. Oh, we're getting some stick here from Joe. Cheers. Thanks for coming in, mate. BLC, you're not going to do back to back. Oh, heck. We
got a mute button for this, Joe? Is there a mute button?
Stephen Huntley says we haven't made any standout marquee signings that show intent. No, we haven't, have we? I mean, you all saw what happened when Bellicon came in and he started to make real statements of intent, didn't we? We brought in Ian Everett, Charlie Adam, David Vaughan. They were all pretty much, DJ Campbell. It was all statements of intent, and there is nothing at all of these players at the moment shows that we're going for it, does it?
But Newcastle have said today that they're going to let is it Scott Longstaff out on loan this season? I think Blackpool should get in for him. Anything like his brother, he'd be a good player.
Yeah, absolutely. Brad Foley is here. He must be. Was it Huddersfield last night? Yeah, we were lucky to beat Preston yesterday. So that doesn't sound good either, does it? We don't want Preston to be looking good. I must admit, I looked at the stats on that game. I think Huddersfield, it said no shots on target, but thankfully you did. Mark Jackson says we seem to pack the box with 11 players when defending corners. There's no outlets and the ball usually comes straight back in. Yeah, there is that. Probably that was why they had four corners in a row, didn't they, with that?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that, Fred, where we're really putting everybody back?
Yeah, even Yatesy got back, and I thought, why are you putting so many people in the box? You need at least one player. How can you counter if you haven't got a player that's just a little further up?
No, you need them up the field. You need some outlet, don't you, to get yourself out of that problem.
Yeah.
Eugene McGeever says, "What Blackpool player would you like to come out of retirement to help us in the Championship?" His would be Brett Ormrod.
Super Bretty Ormrod. Yeah, super Brett.
I like Ian Everett, if I'm being honest. I like Ian Everett at centre half. Callum Mann says we need to strengthen. I agree. However, we've got some brilliant players out injured who could come back in and bolster the squad. Yes, we have. It's not all bad news. We're not saying it is. Giorgio says, Lee, is this the official Blackpool fan channel?
It is now.
It is now. You've called it. Yeah. I don't know whether we're official. We're just the biggest, aren't we? But I don't think we're official. It's nothing's official here. We're just happy to just be fans and just dish it out if we can. We know
how many loans can you have in the Championship? Is it 5? Is it?
I don't know.
Because I'd like to see us maybe sign some young Premier League players on loan to the end of the season.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get.
Hopefully.
Well, it's nice. I still would have liked to got. Well, Ellis Sims, we can't do anything about that, can we? But Ballard, I can't believe we couldn't get him. Johnny Nash says, I like Critchley, but I think he's out of his depth. Well, we don't know yet. He the one good thing about Critchley is he does learn. He is a manager that will change things. I think, when we had Simon Grayson, he was just, that was it, wasn't it? He was never going to change the way he was and the way he played. But I think Critchley, will be looking at it and he'll be analysing it, trying to figure out what we need to do. I just think we need more intensity. I think that's just more intensity from the
confidence
from the get-go. Well. Yeah, we need to be at the teams, don't we?
He's very theatrical, isn't he, Critchley, this season? Have you seen it? He's always
he's not normally
dancing about on the line.
Vulcan, as Jane would say. He normally has, he's normally very calm, isn't he? But he's not quite. He's getting a bit like me. He's been watching too much Lee Charles TV, I reckon.
He bollocked Keogh yesterday, mate. He bollocked him. I don't know if you saw that, but he absolutely bollocked him. Yeah, I like that.
Did he? Was that the bit where he lost the ball? Did he bollock him then?
I can't remember, but I know I saw him bollock him. I liked it.
Now, here's the thing. I wonder what you think about this one. Red Room says Keshi and CJ seem to be possessed by the ghost of Kai Past. So there's two things in that. It's like Kai was a bit on and off, wasn't he? But I still think I still would have liked to have Kai in this team. I think he'd have been good in the Championship. I can't
not his twin brother though. No, Kai.
No, his twin brother was a worry. Eugene McGeever says, I think Blackpool needs a player like Ellis Sims in the Championship now, and Blackpool can get Ellis Sims in the January transfer window. We hope. It's all rumours and speculation. Nobody knows for sure.
There's a rumour going now that he should have played. He should have played for Everton under 23 last week, and he hasn't.
All right. Well, maybe he's coming now. We could do
get back in training, get him back to Blackpool. We can go a month of time.
Neil Michaels is here. Look at this. He says, glad Josh Bowler is doing well for you guys. He was a standout for the Everton under 23s last year. We let him go for free, just as too many of our young players do, but glad he went to Blackpool. Yeah, he is fantastic. We can't. In fact, he doesn't look under 23 though, does he? He looks so much older. I would never have him as a young. Oh, it's the bowl haircut that he has or something, but he does look.
We've got some very good players from Everton. So who else can you send us?
Yeah. Well, just keep sending us your cast-offs. They're pretty good. The cyber leader is here. West Ham United says, "Hey Lee, you guys need a new striker. Jerry's okay, but you need some experienced players that know how to play. For example, like Jack Wilshere. He's free. Yeah.
He's always injured though, Jack, isn't he? Always injured.
Jack Wilshere. Could we afford him? There's no chance, is there?
There was talk about offering him a pay per play contract, but we wouldn't get him. There's one player that I do think we'd get. Is a right back as well. He's Andre Wisdom. He got released from Derby. He's about 28-year-old. I think he'd be a good player and a good signing for us.
Is he tall? We need some tall players for me. We need some height in this team. Neil Michael says Sims could well go on loan to Blackpool in January once he's recovered from injury. If we get a striker in before end of August, we would probably let him go out on loan for the second half of the season. So, okay, we're relying on that.
Is he back already,
says,
Neil?
Freddie gives really good analysis. Please feature him more often. We do feature Freddie as much as we can, don't we? We love Freddie as a big.
Yeah, I did a lot last season, but to be fair, it's like I work as a manager for Green King. I'm not always available. That's the thing. I'd love to obviously come on a bit more, but just as and when.
Yeah. David Skull says it seems that Poole are It seems Poole are waiting for the top clubs to start releasing players to go out on season loans. So let's see what February brings. Maybe we have some promises of players to come in. Maybe the Premier League are waiting. Nobody knows. Holo TV says, know what happened with Bez Labala. He's just vanished. There's something going on there. We don't know. I believe it says how is Jane. She's fine. She's doing it. She's writing a blog of it's probably going through the trauma of having to relive last night in her blog. Jack Gomez says Bielsa has announced that Ian Pavida is free to leave. Is he a player you would like to see in a Pill shirt? Do you know anything about him, Ian?
Who is he?
Ian Pavida. Is it?
I don't know.
Pavida.
What position? Is he good? Is he okay? Or
he's free to leave. He's a player. Would you? I don't even watch the Premier League, so I'm not quite sure who he is. So I don't know. Does anybody fancy him in the chat? I don't know.
I watch the Premier League. I just don't watch Leeds.
David Ledbetter is still saying it hit his head. It wasn't handball, but we're arguing that he actually hit his arm before it hit his head. That's the problem. And I think we're all in agreement. It did come off his head at the end, but did it hit his arm first? But also he was offside, and also it was 2 minutes of 1 minute added. So
one player I'd like to see play and given the chance, I thought he did extremely well against Middlesbrough. Is Sonny Carey.
Yeah, I liked him as well.
His movement and the way he had the ball, and the way that he ran with the balls. I was very impressed, and I thought he's made a step up for non-league. Bloody hell!
Yeah, he looked pretty good, didn't he? He did look very good.
Yeah.
And Neil Michael says, with Connolly and Garbett, who both also left Everton for free, if Sims goes back to you on loan, that could be 4 Everton players in the Pool lineup. We're definitely wishing you guys well. Yeah, we call ourselves the Everton B team, but we've got that many players in.
Who else can you give us? Who else is decent?
Yeah, just anybody. Oh God, David Ledbetter says that Sims is expected to sign for Sunderland as soon as he's fit. Stop winding us up.
Yeah, all right.
George is here. It's Ramos is here. Great. He says, we'll get there, guys. Take time. Think about the start of last season. Whilst it's normal to be worried, keep the faith up the Pool. And Andy Garner.
Andy Garner.
Is that Andy Garner? Is that who he'd want back in to help us out in the Championship?
No, there's a little funny story, Lee. When we went to Bristol, we're on the BSA coach, right? And there's one guy on his own. He was a nice guy, but he kept going, Andy Garner. And this other guy told me, shut up, right? So on the way back, he did it again. And then there was about 10 lads and we're all going, Andy Garner, Andy Garner. Oh, it's brilliant. Brilliant. It's caught on now. So every time I see him at the ground, I'm always, Andy Garner.
And if anybody hasn't subscribed yet to It's Ramos channel, make sure you do. Coventry fans as well. He's a great.
Yeah, he's a good lad. Good lad.
He's a good lad. He's a great lad. His videos are ace quality. I always watch him. It's always good for me because we see it from the other end. In fact, I don't know if he's done the video yet, because if he's got the goal from that side, I don't know if he's got one. I'm not sure if it's out, but maybe George can tell us if he's actually got a clip of whether that was handball or not, because it would be nice to see it from behind the goal. Yeah. We're just not at that angle, have we?
He's really good. He's really good with his videos. I enjoy him.
He's brilliant. Yeah. Jack Gorman says, Freddie, are you Bournemouth?
No, I'm not. I'm gutted. I'm working. I can't.
Does he mean are you going to Bournemouth?
Come on, give us a cheer. Give us a cheer for us. No, I can't go. I want to, but.
David Scholes says that Bowl and Lavery are both promising strikers, just need a bit of shooting practice. Well, I thought Lavery's looked pretty good. I mean, he can't, no striker's going to score every chance they get, but he has scored a couple of good goals, hasn't he, Lavery, really?
I think Bowler's shooting could be a little bit better, but what he provides to the team, I don't mind.
Well, he gets things, doesn't he? He gets things like, he scores, he gets free kicks because he goes at them. He's going to get us a penalty one of these days because he goes in the box and runs in the box, which is something I really like. He gets
can see why Everton paid. You can see why Everton paid $4 million for him from QPR.
Yeah, did they?
Yeah, very good player. I love the way he just runs at players and he just goes in between players and runs into the box.
Everton bought him for 4 million, did he, as a kid?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. And then they let him go on a free. It's just like
the
money. It's just like ridiculous, isn't it? You know, for $4 million.
I'm trying to remember what I read. I think he picked up an injury, so he didn't get into the first team.
So just send him on a free.
That loss our gainer.
David Ledbetter says, I live in the northeast and Embo has recommended Sims to Sunderland and it appears that Everton prefer that option too. God's sake.
Sims will not go to
Sunderland are starting to annoy me now. They're starting to annoy me. I'm starting to get annoyed with Sunderland.
Would you like to go to a championship club or do you want to go to a League One? It's not even a question.
Yeah, Stephen Wallace says there is a positive. We're above Preston in the league.
Hey,
for how long?
Preston get battered everywhere they go. Preston get battered everywhere they go.
Everywhere they go. Holloway TV says, what's your opinion on Medine? I think he's on his last legs. What's your opinion on Medine? I mean, he's just not featuring again, is he? So he's a sick note, isn't he, at the moment?
I like him.
Does he want to play, do you think? Does he want to play?
Yeah, I think he wants to play, yeah. I met him a couple of times. He's a really nice lad.
Yeah.
He's just been injured, hasn't he, a lot. But he has that experience from the Championship.
I wish he was playing, to be honest. I really do. I think we need him.
It gives a bit of height as well. Give us a bit of height.
His name, Cyber Leader says we can bid for Connor Coventry from US. Never heard of him. Connor Coventry, I like the name though. But
is that US or is that us? From us?
Oh, from us. Oh, yeah. Yeah, from West Ham. Connor Coventry.
Connor Coventry.
Never heard of him. It tells me all these names. He's always shocked that I don't know who they are because I've never heard of him. Yes, it could be worse. Well, it certainly could be worse. It could be the Cods. They don't look very good at the moment. Yeah. They're in Simon Grayson nightmare, aren't they? Really, there. It's not good. Oh, he's not getting enough game time. Well, send him our way if he's any good. Stephen Hutchinson says, in Critch, we trust. Wouldn't be surprised if we win at Bournemouth despite the last two results. Well, I hope you're right, Stephen. We're going to bloody Bournemouth and I could do with a win. I could just do with watching a win.
There's no doubt we're going to get battered, but we can also win. We can also score and get 3 points.
Yeah, we can. Steve Hutchinson says, I think our recruitment was a little mixed in the summer, but nowhere near as bad as people make out. Bowler, Lavery, Carey and Casey, all decent signings. Yeah.
Yeah, there needs to be played. That's the thing.
Yeah. We should get Andy Carroll.
Casey, I'd like to
Andy
see more
Carroll,
of.
that'd be a good shout, wouldn't he? But he's another one that gets injured, but I used to quite like him.
Get him alone from the hospital. So he's injured, isn't
he? Yeah, he is. He's another one that's just never going to play, is he? The Cyber Leader says, like Nathan Holland, he's on loan at Oxford. Also, Alva's a defender at Sunderland from us. You're sending them all out to. I don't think.
How many bloody players has Sunderland got? They can only have like 25 in League One. Oh, 20.
I don't know how many you can. Kids don't count, do the under 23s don't count?
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Caden Kimbo says, "Keep winning. Come on, the Sky Blues." Well, you looked decent last night, I thought. Neil Michael says, "Yes, Sims is out for a while. We just sent Nathan Broadhead to Sunderland, but Everton wants a championship loan for Sims. He knows the manager and player, so Blackpool more likely than Sunderland. Well, that makes us feel a little bit better about that. We don't want to lose another one to bloody Sunderland, do we?" Paul CCFC says the Sky Blues will surprise a few this season. I think you will as well. But you've only beaten Blackpool so far, so don't get too carried away because we're not the top of the championship. We are favourites to go down. Let's put it that way. So we're not favourites to stay up. So maybe it's not a good indication of where you're going to finish. The fact you beat Blackpool last night with a jammy.
No, they've won twice. They've won twice. The one they were losing against was it?
Oh, they beat Nottingham Forest.
And then they won 2-1. Yeah.
And Neil Michael says, yes, we have paid a few million for Bowler from QPR when he was about 17 and then let him go for free. Far from our most costly mistake, though. Yeah, I can imagine there's some big mistakes, isn't there?
I read 4 million.
Jane was researching that song that they were singing. You know, this he's a Brazilian. He only cost $1 million, and I think it originally came from Man City, and I think Everton had a version as well. And they're all like, you know, he only cost 40 million. I think the original song.
Edison it is for the goalkeeper at Man City.
He only cost 40 million or something, isn't he? You're thinking, geez, you know,
he's Brazilian. He only cost 40 million. We think he's brilliant. It's Edison. Yeah, they mix it from there. Yeah.
Everton had a version as well, and I think their player was even more expensive than Edison. But it's like
Richarlison.
Yeah, how much was he?
Oh, I don't know.
But that's it. I mean, we're in a. I mean, you know, I was saying to somebody before, you know, they're singing. I was saying something at the match. They're singing, you know, he's only worth, you know, he only cost $1 million, and in reality, in the Championship, it is only $1 million, isn't it? Even in the Championship, $1 million, $1 million is not a lot for a player. You know, we played Middlesbrough, didn't we? Had a £5 million player, and he didn't look all that good. And you know, God, we're just not in that league at all. We're not in the league of signing. Well, 750,000. I'm quite surprised we've played that, but Stephen Hodges says, please no to Andy Carroll due to his fitness. I believe he said he's a midfielder. Check him out as a midfielder. Right, George is back. Okay. It's Ramos. What are your thoughts on the short corner technique we seem to have adopted? I think it could prove effective, but it's frustrating to see it performed at every corner. Well, I think
I agree. I'd like it mixed up. I'd like maybe some, because it's too predictable. If you do it every single time, it's too predictable. So you're gonna the opposition are gonna get into positions on the pitch where they can just stop it from coming in. So have a mix. Maybe sometimes some short, some long.
What to get Ramos in? Just I'll give you a link, George. If you want to just come in, join us on the stream. You can do with pleasure. Not a problem with that. If you want to come in,
Andy Garner.
Let me know in the comments if you want to come in, George. You can. Right, Simon Lee says, can we do a meetup when you face Millwall? Yeah. I think I've already said to you, we'll try and find you if we can and do a meetup. Be good. Johnny Nash says Keogh has lost his legs in age. Well, yeah, but you can get away with it centre off. You don't always have to be absolutely rapid. You know, if your positioning's really good. Yes, Jack Cover said we beat Forest as well. Yes, we do know, and it was 2 late goals against Forest as well, because I saw Dawes' video, and his video was all of joy. It was a joyous video from the car journey down. They're having loads of fun. At half time, they were all really chipper and really happy, and then you could see the stress was coming on as the second half rolled on. When they got to the last 10 minutes, they kind of could see it was coming, that you were going to equalise, and you equalised with 10 minutes to go, and then you scored in the 6th minute of injury time. It was honestly, it went from a joyous video to like just terrible. It's quite a funny.
Was it handball then too? Oh.
It might have been, but honestly, if you watch Dawes' video, knowing, you know, because you know what's going to happen, you can see all the joy and how they're feeling, and everything's top, and it just goes wrong. Neil Michael says Richarlison has a version of that. He's Brazilian, only cost 40 million. Seamus Coleman has a song about how he cost 60 grand.
60 grand.
Well, that's more like Blackpool's. Richarlison was he 50 million? Bloody hell. Steve Mully says, ask Coventry fans how they got on against Northampton in the cup this season. At least Blackpool's still in the cup. I know, but maybe they only put the kids out. You can't always judge on that, can you? Giorgio says, what's happened to Mitchell? He could probably do a job in centre mid, since he's good defensively and offensively. He's injured, isn't he, Mitchell? I think Demi Mitchell.
He took a knock, didn't he? I hope he's back soon, because he's actually one of my favourite players, and I do think he can do a job in this league. So Mitchell, get back quick.
Steve Hutchins says, speaking of corners, why does every player come back to defend our corners, leaving up, otherwise balls just come straight back? Yeah, we've already touched on that. We agree with that. Brian Murray, this is a long one. Right, here we go. It's like War and Peace, this, right. Yes, it's been a disappointing start, not helped with continuing injuries. It's not been pretty. Sorry, that's gone out. It's not been pretty to watch at times, but despite what some fans are saying about the lack of signings, it's not been for the want of trying. It's strange, but a few weeks ago, Critch was being lauded as a superb coach. Now he's suddenly out of his depth. I'm not saying he's out of his depth. I think he learns. I think he's I think it's a new challenge for him, and I don't think he's quite got up to speed with it yet, because I think it's a bit of a baptism of fire for everybody, isn't it? You know, the players as well, and Critch is going to have to learn how these teams play against us. And as Jane alluded to at the end of our video, that we've got to get wise to this shithousery that goes on, and we mentioned that in the, you know, in the video, and some Coventry fans have actually come on and said, yeah, we had that problem last year and we had to learn how to be shithouses ourselves, because it's just the way. So if it is going to be like that, it's in the Championship, and we're getting a lot of feedback saying that it is this way, then we're going to have to man up, aren't we? We're going to have to start getting a little bit clever, and we're going to have to start, you know, there's no good being nicey, because they'll just punish you. And we are too nice. You know, we were too nice in League One, weren't we? You know, we're the kind of team, you know, if you fouled, you go down, you get straight back up. Like, they're up in a jiffy, aren't they? There's no really, unless they're really hurt, you don't see, you know, they have to carry it off on a bloody stretcher half the time.
The Coventry player yesterday, he went down for about 10 minutes. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, I know. And then they just back up, aren't they? You know, we all know that. No? It'd be great for Gillingham this league, won't
that
it?
magic sponge.
Yes, a few weeks ago, Critch was being lauded as a superb coach. Now he's suddenly out of his depth. This season was never going to be a walk in the park. More of making sure we stay up. We'll get our breaks and things will start to look more positive. Hope so. I hope you're right. You know, we need a little bit of luck, don't we? Maybe just a little bit of luck. And you got to be
realist as well, because, you know, it is a high division. It's got to be tough. But even though we've lost, you know, you'd hope that we would have played a little bit better. Maybe put another couple of chances away. The passes, like I touched before, you know, you want the passes to you know, go to the other player, not run off the pitch. So it's you have to be a realist, but you also hope that it would have been a little bit better as well.
Yeah, you would. Cyber Leader says, imagine if we had West Ham in the cup, we'd find it difficult. We'll find it difficult against Morecambe, Cyber Leader. So what chance have we got against West Ham? We get absolutely annihilated at the moment. But at the moment, we're not, you know, we're a work in progress. We're not, you know, I'm not giving up on Critch. I'm still in Critch, we trust, and I think he will.
Yeah, definitely
figure it out.
Just early days, isn't it? Early days.
It is early days. It's just a little bit disappointing. I didn't want to be, you know, stuck at the bottom straight off. Really, I wanted to get up a bit, and then you know, get a bit of pressure off. The pressure comes on the more you're down. You know, the thing I was saying as well yesterday. You know, because James often saying that, you know, we were in the Championship and it's not as hard as you think, you know, because Blackpool took 3 seasons to fall out of it. You know, we tried to drop out of it, but I said to Jane that when we're in the Championship with Holloway, especially after the Premier League season, clubs were coming to Blackpool in fear. They were setting up to defend. They were setting up to park the bus. They were setting up in that typical trying to get us on the break kind of thing, and just like worrying about how good we were.
Yeah.
Teams now are coming to Blackpool to win. You know, Coventry will have looked at that game last night and they're saying, this is 3 points tonight. You know, their manager was saying, come on, it's Blackpool, favourites to go down. Let's go at them. Let's get them under the cosh. Let's beat them. And teams are coming to Bloomfield Road to beat you. And if every team's coming to Bloomfield Road to beat you, then every team, it's like playing bloody Brazil all the time, because they're just at you all the time, because they're coming to win. They're not coming to get a draw. They're coming to win. And that's
where we have to stand up.
That's why we have to start making it so they have a fear of us. And if we don't turn that corner and start making Bloomfield Road become a place where teams are thinking,
fortress,
Blackpool are a good side, let's just, you know, take it easy. Let's don't do anything daft. Let's not go forward too much. Let's not press, because they'll catch us around the back and that. And it's just a different mindset. And we are at the moment in that position as a club where teams will be coming here thinking this is an easy 3 points. And when it's that situation, these games are not going to be easy unless we get out of it. And I've seen it before, and you don't want teams coming like that.
Just need to change that mindset, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We need to start looking a hard team, a difficult place to come, a fearful place, a scary. I mean, we've always been noisy and loud, and there always is that, you know, that crowd. But at the end of the day, you know, you've got to have a team that puts a bit of, you know, fear into other teams, and they think, oh, you know, we're not going to, you know, let's just be careful at the back, and, you know, all that sort of stuff. And you want them to be thinking that, not thinking, here we go, 3 points in the bag here, bloody Blackpool will just breathe these away. You know, well, that's it, innit? They'll be thinking, God, bloody Blackpool, this is an easy 3 points. Nigel S says that Reece James played left back for Sunderland. Good going forward, not very good at defending, always out of position. So worry, but I was told by Doncaster that he was their player of the year, so God only knows. Neil Michael says at the moment he's playing like a 40-50 million pound player. I think we're talking about Richarlison, yeah. This summer he reached Copa America final, then Olympic gold medal, and then man of the match on Saturday at Southampton. So there we are.
He's a great player. Great player, Richarlison.
Yeah. David Skull says, bring back Reg Barker. Sean Barker, yeah, I like him. Mick Harrison says he's gutted for all Pool fans, but especially for my granddaughter, a brand new fan. Unfortunately, she's not seen a goal yet at home, but last night, let's be honest, we had 4 clear-cut chances. We did have 4 clear-cut chances. You know, we really did. And on another day, one of them might have just gone in and, you know, we could have come away with a draw. I think we were worthy of a draw in the second half. I don't think we were worthy of a draw in the first half, and that's how I feel about it. I think we were second best all over the park in the first half. I think they were just picking everything up, every loose ball. And
we did it last season all as well, didn't we? Like, there was a lot of games last season. We'd have an okay or a bit of an iffy one half, and then the other half would play extremely well. Can't really do that in the Championship.
No, you can't have a game of 2 hours. You've got to be at it and on it, and you've just got to give 100% in every game. And I wasn't sure whether in that first half we were giving. Well, we can't have been, because we were so much better in the second half, weren't we? We were, you know, it was a different team. We were camped in the Coventry half for quite a long periods, where in the first half they were just camped in ours, weren't they, the whole way through? It was, we just got chances on the break, sort of thing, didn't we? Neil Michael says the Championship is a tough league. You will need to be a bit cynical at times. We're learning that very fast. Neil Critch has a background in youth footy, and you don't learn those tricks there. Hopefully it will come with time. Well, he's got experienced people around him, so maybe that's another thing that I'm a bit upset. I was upset that Colin Calderwood left, because I thought I
was going to ask you that. How much of an effect do you think Colin Calderwood leaving has had on Critchley and the team?
I think it has an effect. Yeah, I think he was very popular, and I think he was very astute, and I think he was very good defensively, and I think he would have looked at this defense and sorted it out pretty quicker. I think we are missing him. I think he was, well, a lot of people have said he was the thing that, I mean, I said it was Kenny Dougal really signing in, but a lot of people reckon that Blackpool's, how did we turn it around when he came in? I mean, it's unbelievable. The record before Colin Calderwood came to what happened after Colin Calderwood joined is phenomenal. And
it's funny how he's gone and we've kind of reverted back to how it was. Okay, it's early days and it's harder to, it's a tougher league, but it's kind of the similar, similar thing.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I mean, what does Stuart McCall, every credit for coming in, but what does he offer? How does he improve the club, the football? He spoke about, he's good at motivating people, and obviously when times are going to be tough, he can motivate the players. But okay, that's good. But what else can he give as a team? What else can he give the team for us to pick up 3 points?
I don't know. Does anybody know? Post the comments. I don't know, because at the moment he's not looking like he's doing anything, is it? To be honest, he's certainly not having a positive effect anyway, is it? Because we're not playing all that good. We're not giving up on Critch. Nobody is giving up on Critch.
No one's giving up on him.
No way.
Not yet.
Definitely not giving up on him.
I did at the beginning of last season, and I got slated, so I'm not making that same mistake.
No, I like him, and I think he analyzes the game. I think he learns, and I think he will learn, and I think he's, he did what everybody was asking, didn't he, really? I said it in my video at the start, hopefully he's going to start with Lavery and Bowler, and he did. He did. I thought he should have started with him against Coventry. If I'm being honest, I thought he made a mistake there, but he's corrected it, but it still just wasn't good enough, was it? Because we just weren't good enough in the first half. Holloway TV says we should take some tips from Middlesbrough. They're signing players from everywhere. You can't, though, can you? We haven't got the money to do that.
I think we have. I think we have got the money. We're just not spending it, and I don't know the reason for that. I mean, is it a case of we've lost that much money over the last year and a bit because of COVID, and he's just trying to balance the books? He has got money. Sadler's got money. I don't know as a fan, because they don't really engage with us, why money's not being spent and bringing in quality players.
Well, I think we don't know, do we? Because like last season, players just suddenly come in from nowhere, don't they? I mean, who knew about Kenny Dougal? All of a sudden, he just appeared, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know, where did he suddenly appear from?
Same with Kevin Stewart.
Yeah, just suddenly all of a sudden we started, Kevin Stewart on a free. And so there are players available, even after there are free agents and stuff. But
yeah,
I don't know. You see, I can understand, and a few people have mentioned it. The Burnley game at home, we played a young lad at right back from was he QPR? I think he was from QPR. He played superb. Oh, Leicester. Was he from Leicester? A right back.
Which one? Sorry.
Against Burnley at home in the pre-season, we had a right back on trial, and everybody was like raving about him.
Oh, Mitch Clark.
Yeah, was he from Leicester?
Yeah,
he's from Leicester. Yeah. So why didn't we take a chance on him? Because he came, didn't he? He looked bloody all right to me. Anyway, I thought he was a great right back.
There was a lot of split opinion from the Blackpool fans of him. Some were saying that he was really good, sign him, and a couple of others were saying, no, he's awful, get rid.
Well, I think most people who watched it on iFollow would say that he looked really good.
Yeah, I think he was a steady player. I think he reminded me quite a bit of Turton.
Yeah, I think he looked pretty decent. Ian Barr says he's back, but the first two Darlington games have been called off due to COVID. He's heartbroken. Bloody hell, Darlington, honestly. I think the players are all right now. Mick Harrison says Blackpool and proud again after all these years, but it's grim. Little Peterborough scored 5 goals to R1 until they fucked it up. They were actually nailing the team that nailed us on Saturday. Well, that is true. They were. Yeah. They were beating Cardiff, weren't they? So they're not going to be suffering, because they look like they've adapted to it quite well. And
they made some good signings as well, Peter.
They made some good signings.
Yeah, they have
made some good signings. Cosvlogs is here. Wow.
Oh, for God's sake.
Ben's here. Difference is you're playing good teams now. Wednesday had so much more quality than I've seen in League One. We're going down. Well, you are at the moment it's not looking so good with Grayson, is it? But
let's get rid of Grayson.
Hopefully he won't be there much longer. Mick Harrison is not looking forward to our next home game against Fulham. No, neither are we. I'm not. I'm dreading it, if I'm being honest, Vint. And what's this? Ian Barr says game management. Lee, draws aren't a bad result. Yeah, well, they're not, but we're not getting draws. Just lost the last 2, so I don't know.
Thing is, we could win on Saturday. We could pick up it's going to be a very, 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 very hard game against Bournemouth, but you never know what happens. If we pick up a win, our mentality changes. Our mentality as supporters changes. We'll have picked up, if we can, it would have been like 1 win, 1 draw, 2 losses. It's not bad.
Yeah, wouldn't have been.
But we could get hammered, so I don't know.
Who knows? Let's hope we win. But however, Stephen Smith is fearing massively for us at Bournemouth. We need a centre, a CDM, and a right back. Definitely, one thing stands out, and that is that they are playing far too cautiously. So yeah, centre defensive mid and a right back. And I think certainly in the first half we're playing cautiously, but we didn't in the second half. I didn't think. I thought we came out of our shell in the second half.
More at it. Second half.
Definitely more at it. We pegged them back in their half, which was good to see. Neil Michael said, the Cods can't go down. Ben, what will you do with your League One show if you have to follow Larry's lot in League Two? Oh, well.
They can't go. They've got an actual derby now against Morecambe. You can't go down.
Yeah, no, yeah, and Bolton. Somebody's having a go at Mark Chamberlain, but it is. Well, it's not. It isn't just for Blackpool fans. Anyone can join in. It's not exclusive, and of course, Everton have got quite a bit of interest in Blackpool because they've, because of course we've got some of their players, haven't they? So there is a sort of a bit of a at the moment, and with Keith Southern being, at Everton and everything, we've got lots of connections with Everton, and we're forever grateful for Seamus Coleman, aren't we? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We just wish they hadn't been baggers in the Premier League and bloody the one time that who was it that scored the hat-trick against us when we were flying? Oh, remember the game at Everton where we were leading and then who was playing for Everton that never scored a hat-trick in his life and he blooming come up with it against us and beat us. Was it 5-3? I can't remember what we lost.
Yeah, 5-3.
Yeah, it was.
I can't remember though. I can't remember who it was.
If they had come back against us, we'd have stayed in. Just one of many games we'd have stayed in. Don't get me started on the Premier League. Mick Harrison says, great shout about Calderwood lads. We never looked back from the day he came into the club. Top man, we never did. I was gutted. When he left. He went back to like a lower league team, didn't he? Did he go back to Northampton? Northampton he went to?
Yeah, Northampton he went to.
Did he not want
do you not think as a club
we should have
done more? We should have done more to keep the likes of Calderwood. We've also should have done the like more to the sign of likes of Ballard, Embleton, Gabriel. Do you not think we should have been a little bit of more effort?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we should. And Steve Huntley was gutted when Calder. Well, I was. Honestly, I couldn't believe it. Why we let him go, and I couldn't believe why he wanted to go back to a League One club when he had a chance of Championship football. Why would he not want to further his career?
I think it was just better for him geographically.
Did he see the future? So you wouldn't give it up though, would you? You know what I mean? You wouldn't. Chance of like and a chance of it, when you're in the Championship, there's always a chance of the Premier League. I'm not saying we've got a chance, but there is that. You can't get in the Premier League from League One, you can't get in the Premier League from League Two, but you can get in the Premier League from the Championship if the wins go the right way, the decisions go the right way, everything goes right. You can get in the Premier League. So, if he'd have got himself in the Premier League, then he's even more valuable, isn't he? And he can, get paid more money. Cosvlog says he would carry on with his League One show, whether he's in League 2 or not.
I've changed my name now. Last season it's all about League One. Now it's We Are Championship.
We Are Championship, yeah. Right, what is Blackpool's best formation? I'll give that to you, Freddie. Go on. What is Blackpool's best formation in the Championship this season?
Jesus Christ. I don't know. Right now, for me, probably, like I said before, against Bournemouth, probably 4-5-1. Pat the midfield out, try and stop him from playing in midfield. Put Lavery up top on his own, but then have like wingers that can cut in, like your likes of Bowler. But maybe a 4-5-1. Maybe a 4-5-1 for me.
It'd make us a bit stronger, wouldn't it? It'd make us more defensively stronger, and maybe at the moment we need to kind of really start shutting up shop a bit, don't we? Because we don't want to keep provide goals all the time.
Provide a bit more support for the back four, and then we've got players there as well. He can go forward.
Seaside 52 is here. I love Seaside 52. He's a bit frustrated that so many people want to drop Yates quickly. Memories are very short. The lad's a grafter and is feeding on scraps. What's the ratio of goals per chance in the Championship? Well, I mean, you've always got to remember, and we've moved up into the Championship, and the goalkeepers are better, the defenders are better, and they're paid to defend to not let you score. So it's you're coming up against better teams, aren't you? Better quality defenders, better quality goalkeepers. That keeper last night pulled a great save off, didn't he, down at his bottom post? It was a brilliant save.
Yeah.
I thought it was going in. So, probably in League One that might have gone in. So you really have got to, you've got to be a better player to score against better defenses and better goalkeepers. So, I don't think Jerry Yates is getting much service, if I'm being honest. But I've said this all along. For me, Jerry Yates is not tall enough to be the tall. If he's playing with Shane Lavery, who's smaller than him, then Jerry Yates suddenly becomes the tall striker. And he's not a tall striker, is he? He needs a tall striker with him to knock balls down to him and, feed off, somebody knocking balls on. He hasn't got anybody that's doing that at the moment. And we keep launching balls up, to players that aren't big enough to.
Yeah. We've got two little men up front.
Jerry Yates is never going to win an header against these 6'5" defenders, is he? He ain't got a bloody prayer.
Give him one of them springboards.
He needs to leap like a salmon all through the game. It's not going to happen, is it? Brian Thompson says, "Don't forget Tommy Johnson has gone too in terms of recruitment." Yes, he has.
Yeah.
Has he got? Yeah, it's another loss, isn't it? He was handy as well, wasn't he?
Yep. somebody's back. Someone wants to say hello. Come say hello.
Oh, the cat's back.
Right. Say hello. Neil Critchley, Tangerine away.
Hey,
Neil Critchley, Tangerine away.
Giles Challoner says, good evening from Durham. When we first hit the Championship, we finished 19th and a little bit higher, then 6th, and then the Premiership. Let's have some faith. It's not over in 3 weeks. No, it's not, but we can still talk about it. We have to talk about it. It's you know, there's no point in having a Blackpool fan channel if we don't talk about things. Is it?
Yeah. So, if we'd have won, then we'd be like, yay, we won, and it'll be positive. But because it's obviously we've lost,
Saha is the one that scored for Everton. Yes, he did. Yes.
Yeah.
Bloody Saha did. Well, we don't know this for certain, but we can laugh at them at the moment. We're not certain that Preston are going down, but they could turn it round. They have done.
They get battered everywhere they go.
Brian Thompson says that Critchley and Calderwood and Johnson, excellent combination. We're weaker on paper than the team that finished at Wembley, 100% both on and off the field. Oh, yeah. Well, time will tell, won't it? Time will tell. Charlie Dutchby says, well, we have touched on it. We need a proper right back. It ain't cutting it with Connolly. I think Freddie's already said that Connolly is a natural centre back, yeah. So he's tending to drift inside and get caught out of position. So either we train that out of him very quickly, and he gets lots of practice on where he should be and what he should be doing, and that's it.
My cat comes back, it all goes. Pete's on. He's like, Daddy, Steve, come on, that's enough. I want my tea.
Steve says it was a joke. Was it a joke? It was a joke. I can't quite remember what we're referring to there. Hello TV says if we didn't have Maxi, we'd be fucked. So he has.
Yeah, do you know what? I can agree with that. I like Grimshaw though. I think Grimshaw's a good keeper. So
he has looked he has looked pretty good, but yeah.
I was happy when we signed him.
He has looked very good. Mick Harris has said we should have given Sunderland what they wanted for Embleton. Well, we don't. Yeah. Do we know? They're very tight-lipped, and not a lot comes out of Blackpool. So it just fans saying that we offered, they wanted 600k or whatever it was, and we didn't want to play it. I mean, is that true? I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know what goes behind the scenes, but then there's other players. Like I would have personally liked to sign the likes of maybe like Andy Cannon. I think he's a good player, but I just think we need somebody decent in that number 10 position.
We did. We need a Charlie Dutch said we need a right back. Conley not cutting it. Yeah, I think I like him though. I think he's a good player.
Good player, centre back, not right back.
Oh gosh, Giles Chandler says Stuart McCall's training methods are go to Manchester, have 6 pints, learn how to fall off car roofs. Has that happened before? I don't know. I've not heard that story. Maybe that is a story. Well, I think we've criticised him enough, haven't we? I mean, we're going to talk about Bowler and Lavery as a bit of a, two shining lights in everything, and I think they are.
Yeah, great players.
2 players,
brilliant players.
Are going to become legends, I think, for Blackpool. I think that Bowler he's so exciting. I don't think I've seen a player quite like him for a long time. I do like a player that is prepared, who can dribble and who can actually get past players, and he can get past players, can't he?
Yeah.
It is terrifying. We just didn't see enough of it in the first
Lavery, at the Middlesbrough game, I actually said to my mate, I was like, he looks really frustrated that he's not scored yet. And 2 seconds later, he buries it bottom corner.
Yeah, he's a good player.
So, I
wasn't happy with that booking that he got, though. I thought the referee was harsh there because I thought it was a 50-50 ball he was going for. I thought he had every right to go for it. I didn't think he did much wrong, to be honest. I didn't like the referee last night. I mean, Jane straight away Jane, because if you remember, like Coventry, the referee just wasn't making any bookings, was he? He was letting everything go, and they were really steaming into us, weren't they? And there were some really bad fouls, and he just didn't give any yellow cards, so they just carried on, didn't they? And this guy pulls a yellow card out within 2 minutes on Lavery, and I thought it affected him a little bit. And
he did. Yeah.
Jane just went, well, you can tell he's got little man syndrome because he was a little ref, wasn't he? And she wasn't happy about the fact she's seen lots of referees at non-league level. Oh, this little man.
It's just a shame. Do you know what I mean? If a referee lets a game flow, it's normally 9 times out of 10 a very good game. But if you stop and start, and you're unfair on one team, overly fair on another, it just makes for a crap game. It does. And that referee last night, mate,
didn't seem to be giving us much,
goal. If he gets another game, it's a joke.
It made me laugh. You always know the crowd are not enjoying him at all when Bowler got that free kick and the whole bloody stadium just roared, didn't they? Because we'd actually got a free kick finally. He'd actually given us something, because he didn't give us much, did he? What about that push down on
as well?
What about, was there a push near the end on CJ Hamilton? Just pushed him down. He went down like a just didn't give anything, did he? Just didn't give anything. And if that had been the other way around,
we were there looking at the referee, and he just played on.
Yeah, he just played on, and there was a massive roar, wasn't there? It was down in the west corner, west corner, wasn't it? Just right near the corner flag. He just pushed him down, and referee did nothing.
Do you remember what Jake Tong said about the referees last season in League One, where they're part time, they've got another job, and then they come and they do the officiate the game. I wonder if that's the same for the Championship. I wonder, because that's why they're crap.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that is what
he had a bad day and he took it out on us.
Right, Freddie, have you got anything else to add? Does anybody have any more questions before we go?
It's good to be back.
I think we've talked it as much as we can. I think, in summary, I still think it was a handball goal. I'm disagreeing with all the Coventry fans who say it wasn't. I think from the angle they keep showing it on, you're not seeing it properly from what the Blackpool fans saw. It hit the arm before it hit his face, even if it did it, if it hit his face and went in. But I think on balance of play, Coventry deserved the win. I think they did. They were the better team on the day. There's no doubt about it. Overall, they deserved the win. Blackpool didn't get a lot of luck. Referee wasn't the best. Linesman was missing offsides and handballs. I mean, there's quite a few handballs that they didn't see in the second half, wasn't there? Blackpool fans were getting very frustrated. But I can't blame the officials for us losing, because I think Blackpool have got to get, they've got to play better. I know that's obviously we've got to play better, but they've got to be at it from the start. They've got to be closing down. They've got to be winning the ball. They've got to be putting teams under pressure. You cannot play at home and just, lull the ball around and let them come at you, because they will just punish you. So we have got to make, I'll compare us, I think, to Accrington Stanley. Yeah. You play Accrington Stanley and they're always a team that you think, bloody hell, Accrington Stanley, you can beat these, and you play them and you can't beat them, because they won't let you beat them. They're just at you from the minute to the end. They make everything hard, everything awkward. They're closing down. They're doing, they're just in your face, aren't they? And they make the game really brilliant. Hard. They don't let you play. They don't let you pass the wall around. And we have to be, at the moment, we have to be that sort of Accrington Stanley team where we're just in their faces all the time, and we're going for it, and we're pushing them back, and we're not letting them get on top of us. And that for me is what's needed. I think we're good enough, but we're not playing with enough intensity.
I really want Blackpool to adopt the basically what I'm trying to say is I want Blackpool to be in a position where teams think, we have to go there on a cold Tuesday night. It's going to be a really tough game. A bit like teams think about Stoke. I don't want to go to Stoke.
Don't want to go there. It's like, no.
I want Blackpool to.
I'm hoping to get injured so you don't have to play or something. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, we need to get back to that, and we need to make Black. I didn't even think the crowd were as loud as we have been. I didn't, I thought we weren't as good as, I didn't think the noise, I thought, but what we're getting, unfortunately, because we're in the south, we're just getting them all the time in our ear. It's really annoying. And the south stand is not as loud as the north, but they didn't seem to be singing quite as loud as they normally do.
There's one point in the north stand, it was really, really loud, really loud. I thought, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
But there were times where it needs the really crowd as well.
It does. It needs the team to lift the crowd, sometimes for the crowd to lift the team. They've got to be seeing stuff that they're roaring on and they're getting behind them and everything. And they just, as I say, in the first half, there just wasn't that. But in Critch we trust. We're going to end on that.
I heard the game against Cardiff though, when we went 1-0 down, they were especially loud, and heard the atmosphere was brilliant.
Yeah, they were. No, they were. They really got behind them in that Coventry game. Maybe they left it all on Saturday and they'd sung their hearts out for them, and then they got
the voices.
Yeah, they lost the verses. But anyway, I think that's it, Freddie. Thank you very much. Thanks for all you for
pleasure
watching,
as always.
Obviously, do the normal thing, subscribe if you haven't already, and give it a like. Like the video, and we'll be going to Bournemouth. If anybody's
enjoy
Blackpool fans are trying to Bournemouth, come along. Say hello to me and Jane if you want to be on the videos and say your piece. We will get you on. So if you find us,
touch wood, it can only get better.
It can only get better. It's early doors. It's not over yet by any stretch. There's a long way to go, but yeah, right. See you later, folks. Thanks for watching. Take care.
Come on the pool.
Oh, still here. There we are. Avengers ending before we go. Thanks a lot, everyone. We are now going. We always come back for a little bit at the end, But yeah, I think I'm of the opinion in Critch we trust, and let's just hope he can turn it around, and let's hope we see some better. I'm sure they're going to bring a couple of players in. I think they know they need a few. There's a few spots. So see you all.
2 weeks left. 2 weeks left.
See you later, folks.